Hello, good morning, and welcome to the morning news on AUTV. Today is 12 February, Thursday, 2026. I am Samira Franklin. Coming up with the headlines. Guta demands immediate withdrawal of the Ghana River Authority task force. Former NEP-SIP Kofi Ofosun cancer formally charged, lawyer confirms. Cabinet approves emergency measures for fast-track cocoa farmers' payments. 15 young women, including minor, arrested in Koforidua border raid. Cocaine hidden in packaged gari intercepted at KIA. News in details. The leadership of the Ghana Union of Traders Association has demanded the immediate suspension and withdrawal of the newly formed Revenue Mobilization Tax force for the Ghana Revenue Authority to avoid a looming confrontation. Its president, Clement Boateng, in a press conference expressed deep frustration over GRA's recent enforcement tactics. Speaking on the implementation challenges of the new 20% VAT regime, Mr. Boateng made it clear that while traders are willing to comply, they will not be intimidated by aggressive field operations. We demanded that GRA halt the task force that they have formed and engage in meaningful talks to address implementations. Challenges because we do not want to have any confrontation with a task force, and the call follows GRA's effort to intensify effort to close 60% VAT compliance gap through its national VAT compliance and enforcement team. However, the Ghana Union of Traders Association argues that the current system is full of complex calculation and cascading prices affects that many informal traders lack the technical capacity to navigate. Calling for government intervention, Guta stressed that a fair and effective tax system can be achieved through constructive dialogue rather than coercion. We call on the government to intervene and ensure GRA works collaboratively with traders. We urge the government to act urgently, protecting traders and promoting compliance and fostering Ghana's development. We believe our concerns will receive the utmost attention that it deserves, and we look forward to a constructive dialogue with the authority, he added. While Mr. Boateng has recently urged traders to reduce prices following the cedi's appreciation, he maintains that an unfavorable tax environment could negate these economic gains. Under the new VAT Act, traders are currently transitioned from a 4% flat rate to a standard 20% system. A move Guta claims are pushing up costs for both businesses and consumers. After failing to meet its revenue mobilization target for 2025, GRA is faced with a daunting task of rallying about 330 billion Ghana cedis in 2026 to support the national budget and fiscal sustainability. Former CEO of the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, Kofi Ofosun Cancer, has been formally charged with publishing false news by the National Investigation Bureau. His legal counsel has confirmed. Speaking on the Asempes FM, Ekosi saying, Nana J. Bafo Awua, who is also the Member of Parliament for Manchia South, said the charge relates to allegations that someone paid money to secure a government-funded scholarship to study abroad. According to Awua, Mr. Nkansa was taken into a custody on Tuesday and questioned by the NIB officers before the charge was filed. He has charged but is still in NIB custody, although he was supposed to be granted bail. How do you detain someone who has been charged with publication of false news? He asked. The lawyer added that Mr. Nkansa is scheduled to appear in court on Thursday, February 12, 2026. His detention follows a directive by President John Mahama for the NIB to investigate his allegations of improper practices in the award of the overseas scholarships, which he discussed on Sumpa 106.5 FM. In a statement dated February 3, 2026, signed by the Secretary to the President, Dr. Silatus Mahama, the presidency noted that the allegation has generated significant public interest after the Twi language discussions circulated widely across media platforms. Mr. Nkansa was subsequently invited by the NIB to assist with investigations following a search of his home on Tuesday. President John Dramani Mahama has called on the newly inaugurated Presidential Advisory Group on the Economy to focus on evidence-based analysis and independent advice. Addressing members at their inaugural meeting, he stressed the need for objective, data-driven policy guidance as Ghana pursues economic review.
Of women, young professionals, seasoned practitioners, and scholars with experience spanning fiscal policy, monetary management, capital markets, private enterprise, academia, and the real economy. Third, gender and generational balance. Economic policy must reflect the full breadth of national talent. Page reflects a strong representation of women, young professionals, seasoned practitioners, and scholars, including the elderly, whose insights will enrich our deliberations. This breadth is not symbolic, it's strategic. I do not want this committee to misunderstand my optimism in the advice you offer as an endorsement of an easy task ahead. We are all qualified and experienced enough to know that we face a tough road ahead, regardless of the progress we may have chalked up to date. As a nation, we find ourselves again in debt distress after having previously declared HIPIC and solemnly assuring ourselves that we will never return to such a position. That experience should have permanently altered our fiscal culture. Unfortunately, instead, we dissipated significant buffers and stabilizers that would have shielded our citizens from the painful domestic debt haircuts that they ultimately had to endure. We must confront this reality honestly. After investing in 3 oil fields and positioning ourselves as an emerging petroleum economy, we allowed policy inconsistency and investor uncertainty to drive existing and potential investors to competing jurisdictions. The result has been a declining trajectory of crude oil output at a time when we should have been consolidating gains and building resilience for the energy transition.
The government has approved emergency measures aimed at expediting payment to cocoa farmers across the country, following a lengthy cabinet meeting on Tuesday to address the ongoing liquidity crisis in the sector. Minister of State in charge of government communications, Felix Kwachi Ofosu, announced that the cabinet has also endorsed what he described as the most far-reaching reforms in the history of the cocoa sector, designed to shift Ghana's focus from exporting raw cocoa beans to value-added production. The emergency intervention comes after farmers who delivered cocoa beans since November 2025 remained unpaid. The Cocoa Board owing licensed buying companies over 10 million Ghana cedis in outstanding payments. Speaking to the press after the emergency cabinet session, Kwache Ofosu revealed that the reforms are designed to achieve substantial growth in domestic cocoa processing. We have just concluded a lengthy cabinet meeting, which was an emergency session that discussed the cocoa sector and matters arising there. And at the end of the emergency session, decisive measures have been agreed upon regarding expanded payment of cocoa farmers. Regarding the implementation of the most drastic reforms in the cocoa sector, the minister stated. According to Kwache Ofosu, comprehensive restructuring will be undertaken at Cocoa Board to enhance efficiency, transparency, and effective management of the sector. The Minister of Finance is expected to address the nation on Thursday at 11 o'clock a.m., where he will outline the detailed implementation plan and financial framework of the reform.
We have just concluded a lengthy cabinet meeting, which was an emergency session that discussed the cocoa sector and matters arising there. And at the end of the emergency session, decisive measures have been agreed upon regarding expedited payments of cocoa farmers, regarding the implementation of the most drastic reforms in the cocoa sector, with a view to achieving quantum leaps in domestic processing of cocoa as opposed to exports of raw materials, and various reforms to be carried out at Cocoa Board in order to ensure more effective administration and management of the cocoa sector. Now at 11 a.m. tomorrow, the finance minister will address the people of Ghana and announce these far-reaching measures as agreed upon at the end of the cabinet meeting today. So that is what I have for you right now.
The new Durban South Municipal Police Commander has raided a suspect's brother at the Dasbiasem, a suburb of Koforidua, arresting 15 young women over alleged involvement in commercial sex activities and human trafficking. The suspects aged between 15 and 32 were apprehended on Tuesday, February 10th, during a police operation at a house located in New Durban North Municipality of the Eastern Region. Briefing journalists in Koforidua ongoing law enforcement operations, the Municipal Police Commander, Superintendent Ransford Insia, said the raid followed a complaint by a Nigerian woman who alleged that she had been assaulted by her mistress, known only as Queen Mother. According to the Superintendent Insia, the alleged assault occurred after the victim failed to meet a daily payment target of 400 Ghana cedis imposed by the suspect. We also arrested another man who had constructed a house and turned it into a brothel where the young ladies were staying, he stated. Superintendent Insia disclosed that the alleged ringleader was collecting 25 cedis per day from each of the women. He added that about 15 persons, including a 15-year-old minor, were currently in police custody and would be assigned before court, as their alleged conduct breaches provisions of the Criminal Offence Article 1960, Article 29, and the Human Trafficking Act 2005, Article 694. He explained that after screening and interrogation, the young women were charged with soliciting for sex, while their female matrons were charged with assembling for an unlawful purpose. The suspects remain in police custody assisting with investigations and are expected to be put before the High Court. Superintendent Insia indicated that the police will intensify similar operations, particularly during the Easter festival, to clamp down on criminals within the municipality and across the region. He stressed that his command remains committed to ensuring residents live without fear or intimidation. Operatives of Narcotics Control Commission have arrested a senior manager of a manufacturing company for alleged attempting to smuggle cocaine out of the country. The suspect, whose identity has not yet been officially released, is said to have concealed the illicit substance in consignment of packaged Gary dried cassava flakes intended for shipment. The arrest was made at the Kotoka International Airport following a meticulously planned intelligence-led operation. According to sources at Kotoka International Airport, who spoke to Graphic Online, the suspect is believed to be in charge of production at the manufacturing firm. Authorities have indicated that investigations are ongoing to unravel the full details surrounding the attempted shipment and to ascertain whether other individuals are connected to the suspected drug syndicate. Just months construction. The constructor working on the 23-kilometer Takrade Agwana Nkwanta Road dualization project has assured that it will complete the project by the middle of this year. The assurance comes after confirmation that the government has paid all interim payment certificates. Meanwhile, the company reports a series of attacks by residents of the Biro and Bokrum communities, a situation that management fears could affect its operational cost and schedule. Work on the 23-kilometer Takrade Agwana Nkwanta Road dualization project is processing steadily. Just More Construction is determined to complete the project in record time following the receipt of payments for all interim payment certificates from the government. Ongoing earthworks at Bill. President Mahama, during an inspection visit in December 2025, ordered the finance minister to honor the payment of $78 million owed to the company to enable it to complete the project. Months after this intervention, the company, according to the project manager, John Prinsloo, is scheduled to complete the outstanding work by the middle of this year. He explained that a 3-kilometer section of road spanning Apoa, Bokrum, Ewusiojo, and Abode is currently under construction following the demolition of structures which lay within the demarcated area of the road project. Before I end the news, headline recaps. Guta demands immediate withdrawal of GRA task force. Former NEIP CEP Kofi Ofosu Nkansa formally charged lawyer confirms. Cabinet approves emergency measures to fast-track cocoa farmer payments. 15 young women, including minor, arrested in Koforidua brother raid. Cocaine hidden in packaged Gary intercepted at Kotoka International Airport. The end of the morning news. I am Samira Franklin. Up next, sports segments. Good morning.